it's time for the Cricket World Cup. We will discuss all of this on episode 18 of the Kingsgrove Sports podcast. Hello everybody and welcome once again to the Kingsgrove Sports podcast. Today, as I said, we're going to talk all things Cricket World Cup. It's very exciting. It is almost time to kick it off. Joining me today is Charlie.
Hello.
And of course, Hamish.
G'day.
Ooh, deep. And we can always never forget the man that presses the buttons and keeps this thing rolling. Producer Nick, how are we?
I'm okay, guys. How are you guys this morning?
I'm very well.
Nice to be here.
That's a tradition that thankfully has gone by the wayside now, hasn't it?
It has, but it's one of those things that it had to happen in order for it to not happen, right? You know, the precedent had to be set.
We had to forget him to remember him.
That's
right.
Yeah, that's right. So all things World Cup today on the Kingsgrove Sports Center podcast. So we'd obviously like you to be involved and send in any questions or comments or views. If you disagree with what we say, let us know. Always good. So obviously contact us on all our socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We'll give you those handles a bit later on. And today, I must say that we're very lucky that this episode of the Kingsgrove Sports Center podcast is sponsored by Kookaburra.
Yes.
The great Australian.
We've got a sponsor.
Equipment. We've
got next
company.
level, Nick.
Yeah. We've got an exciting announcement later. We won't give away that information just yet. But
you're just teasing the viewers.
Exactly.
Mate.
Yeah.
We won't give away the information, but we'll be giving away something.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. So we'd like to thank Kookaburra, the wonderful Australian cricket company that have been around for ever and a day, making the great cricket balls that we all use to play cricket, and not to mention fantastic bats, pads, gloves, bags, wicket keeping gear, fantastic keeping gear. So we thank Kookaburra. Now, Cricket World Cup 2019 in England. Are we excited?
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
How long more? How long more do we have to wait?
Not long.
Is it this week?
Kicks off on the 30th of May.
I feel like there's a mini World Cup going on at the moment anyway before these warm-up games.
Few World Cup warm-ups.
Yeah.
World Cup warm-ups.
There's a few classic games going on the TV as well.
Which is not bad, yeah.
Bring the fever up.
Yeah, just to get you excited. So it's a different format this year, where there's 10 teams competing. No pool, so you're not in pool A, B, or C. There's no pool of death. Everybody is playing everybody.
Yep.
Which I think is a.
Are we a fan?
Good form.
Are we a fan of this?
I don't mind it.
I mean, on the face of it, like we said in the previous show, to not have some of the minnow teams there, like your Irelands, your Netherlands, and people like that, I think it's a huge shame. But at the same time, I kind of want to see how this one plays out, because if it brings an exciting climax,
because it means you're going to get your big game. So you're going to get Australia versus England. You're going to get India, Pakistan. You're going to get England. Well,
virtually every game's a big game.
Yeah,
isn't
Australia, India. Yeah, you're going to get all the big ones. So it's not depending on who you what pool you're in.
What did you have for dinner last night?
A truck, apparently.
A truck. Yeah. So you're not going to get lucky by getting in a pool that's not as strong as some others. Everyone's going to play everybody, which I think will make it interesting.
Yeah, like Charlie, I tend to agree in a sense in that it's disappointing for some of those minnow nations, I think we could call them, that they don't get an opportunity to have one of those surprise victories, taking down one of the big guns. When it tends to happen once or twice a tournament, but what we are getting here are trimmed down, really smooth tournament, I think, that sort of gets to the nuts and bolts of it without too much messing around.
Yeah. I mean, one of the biggest criticisms that we've had recently, haven't we, is that the Big Bash in the IPL goes on for too long.
Yeah.
So here we are now. They've shortened the tournament.
Yep.
I'd like to see how it plays out. Hopefully,
could they have done a little pre-tournament in England amongst 4 or 6? I know they kind of did that anyway, but could they have done that just prior to say, right, as a part of the World Cup 2019, here's this thing, 4 teams going to
possibly. Well, I think they do that because I think so. You've got to be in the top 8 to be guaranteed, and then you play for 9th and 10th basically.
Yeah.
So that's why the West Indies and Afghanistan played off in the World Cup qualifiers. So we could have got a Scotland in, we could have got Canada in if they'd if they'd beaten those, if they finished in the top two, they could have been in. So that's where they've sort of worked out. That's how you get the minnow teams in.
Yep. The fact of the matter is, we're not going to have to sit through in this tournament. Some of these games, it just be ridiculous.
Yeah, there's not going to be so many.
And India churning out 400 against Scotland, getting sorry to our Scottish friends out there. 120. We're just straight into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's mildly disappointing that Scotland and Ireland aren't involved, given that this is about as close as they're going to get for a home World Cup.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm interested to see how it's going to go, and obviously we still have a so-called minnow nation in Afghanistan as well.
Who could cause some damage, although they didn't go that well against. They played the warm-up game the other day or last night against England. And wasn't the best effort.
No, about 160 odd all out, and then England knocked it off one down.
But I think they
160 odd not out was not actually a bad effort from when they were. They were in all sorts of trouble.
I think they knocked over Pakistan a couple of games ago.
Pakistan a couple of days before, but that's not surprising. That's Pakistan. So kicks off on the 30th of May. England versus South Africa.
Correct.
Is the first game, so it's a nice big blockbuster to start with.
Actually, that is a great game because it will give us an idea of where these two nations are at. I think England, obviously, one of the favourites.
Tournament favourite.
But South Africa are up there as well. But there's always that question mark about South Africa, isn't there?
In big tournaments, can they produce? So England is the favourite. There'll be plenty of pressure on them. They've been playing some good cricket.
Yeah,
but they've got a few. There's a few niggles going on in the camp. There's a few things.
Yeah, interesting. They're starting off at the Oval as well as opposed to Lords, but then
that is an interesting. I know they'll end at Lords in the final, but you would have thought
would have started there.
The spiritual home of cricket would have been the obvious place to start the tournament.
Yeah.
So what do we think of the England squad?
I'm pretty pleased with it. Obviously, I'm disappointed with people like David Willey, who've played a lot of one-day cricket over the last few years and not made it into the squad. I think Jofra Archer is very exciting. I think he's a very exciting prospect.
I was worried about him. I thought he damaged himself in the warm-up game against Australia. I wasn't sure, but he backed up in the game against Afghanistan. He did well, took 3 wickets.
Mark Wood is always somewhere near the physio table. So I'm concerned about him. But to have that top order, Jason Roy, James Vince, Owen Morgan, Joe Root, Ben Stokes, and then have Joss Butler, Johnny Bairstow as well. Exciting times. You'd have
been impressed with their batting form against Pakistan in the 5 games. They chased 300s most of the games.
Yes, but the thing is, as I said in previous shows, that England are always not far away from a 50 or 60 all out. And just bringing it out of nowhere.
I don't think. I don't think that's going to happen with this lot. So.
I hope not.
No,
I really hope not.
I
did. I've mentioned him in previous shows at Jamie Overton. I'd like to see him getting a go in his cricket. He played for Somerset the other day in the One Day Cup final and got 3 wickets and bowled really well. So hopefully his injury woes are over. That's not going to help England for this World Cup.
No, he's not. He's not in the squad.
But
who's the main man for England? Who's going to be the
Who's the danger man?
Who's the key?
With
They've
battle
got a few. Just overall, who's the one that will win them the tournament?
Could be with bat and ball. So someone like Stokes.
I think Josh Butler's their key.
I was thinking Josh Butler.
Josh Butler's the key for them. Yeah.
For me, you need to get off to good starts.
Yes.
In this format of the game, so someone like Roy at the top of the order, if he does what he's able to do consistently, he gets England off to a very good start and a pretty quick start.
Yeah.
He could be a danger man for a lot of bowling attacks.
Yeah. Yep. What about South Africa? If we look at South Africa, I think their keys will be Rabada.
Yeah.
He'll be a big key for them, and Duplessis.
Yeah, I think
don't count out de Kock either.
De Kock, he'll be important, and if David Miller can fire. If David Miller can fire, then that'll help him. He's a bit rusty. He's a bit out of form, but if he gets back into form,
I'm going to come a bit left of centre here and go one of the keys for South Africa this year will be Hashim Amla.
Yeah.
At the top of the order, I note.
Yeah.
And he seems to have found a bit of form of recent.
Just need a bit of that steadying influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he bats throughout innings, the guys will bat around him. It'd be a good anchor for the South African innings.
I think Rabada.
Yeah. Yeah. Rabada's that key. If he as long as he stays fit, then he'll be a big.
Well, we
big
tend
key
to
for them,
talk
so.
a lot about the batters.
Yeah.
In white ball cricket.
This is, I mean, a lot of people are saying, of course, flat pitches, small grounds, big scores. So it's going to be the side that bowls the best.
Yeah.
Is probably could go a long way to winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
If you can bowl well, then you're gonna.
You keep on looking at his coffee, mate.
No, it's his
tea,
tea.
mate.
Typical English tea.
100%.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's right.
I mean, the listeners wouldn't have known anything about it, but thanks for giving it away. Mind you.
No worries. Well, the viewers will know.
Yes, the viewers will see the bottom of my my flask. Now, what about this fella, Andal Felaqueo?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know a great deal about him, to be fair.
I can't even pronounce his name.
I may have messed up his first name. Is it Andale or?
No, I don't think so. No. I don't think so.
Quickly.
So be a good start. England are big favourites. Australia. How are we going to go?
Yeah, look, form is great. Obviously, then the big talking point is Warner and Smith coming back into it.
Yeah.
And in the couple of games that they've played, doesn't seem to have affected them. They knocked over England in a crucial, very important warm-up game.
That's not technically an official ODI, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, but we won.
Still, I think that was still important for Australia, just for some confidence, because obviously the last time we were in England playing England in one-day cricket, we lost 5-0.
I think Steve Smith will be like, thanks, English gentlemen, for giving me a great little warm-up hit out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crowd were friendly, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they would know that's going to happen. That's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
All along, so I think they're going to be well prepared for that.
There's
going to be a big issue.
Yeah, so. there's some talking points in the Australian team with what sort of a lineup they'll go. I think it's covered in some of the questions we've got coming up, so we can probably talk more about that a little bit later on in this episode. But look, they're looking pretty good. The big talking point from the first game was how Afghanistan will go when it's tournament on, and they're up against a pretty tall order in Australia first game. So I guess we'll get
the main man for Afghanistan is Rashid Khan. He's the danger man. He's the key for them. Obviously the outstanding T20 bowler.
Yes.
See how he can go in the one day game.
Yeah, exactly. Their batting's pretty good, but obviously only scoring 160 against England is the worrying factor for them, is that they're probably capable of some of those performances, but against Pakistan a few nights ago, a good 5 or 6 of them, got some pretty decent starts.
How they going to go playing 9 games in a tournament to try and make it into a semi-final? So I think they're going to have some great performances, and they're probably going to have some performances like they did against England. That'll be.
I'd back them to pick up a couple of.
They'll win some
results.
games. Yeah, they'll win some games. Yeah, they'll win some games, and they could spring surprises against a few of the more fancied nations. So
I think that they're the team that a lot of the so-called big teams maybe slightly relax against, and then they'll get found out.
Yeah. How do we think India's going to go?
Whoa.
Yeah. Well,
they were my pre-tournament pick to disappoint and go out of the group stage.
Right.
But I'm starting to rethink that.
Right. I mean, they had a warm-up game against New Zealand and didn't perform that well. It was obviously their first one. The guys are coming off the IPL, so we probably can't read a great deal into that. But do we... Probably English conditions maybe talked up a bit too much.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be sort of traditional English conditions like you would sort of say. They're not going to be green semi-wickets. They're going to be pretty flat deck. So I don't think the ball's going to swing around a great deal. So I don't think that's going to have a big effect. So do we think that the weight of expectation may cause an issue, or
I think they'll handle all that, and I think they'll be there or thereabouts towards the end of the tournament.
It is a strong Strong squad. Obviously, Virat Kohli is going to be leading the line. Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan, and I think you'd have in your team as well, wouldn't you? As your first pick.
And batting wise, all those blokes had big
mate,
T20 tournaments.
I mean, the top 6, top 7 can also 100. So it's a massive lineup. So I don't think they're going to be relying on Virat as much as maybe as they possibly have previously. But
and you've got someone like Jadeja coming in low down the order who can be quite destructive.
Jadeja. You just like to put a little French on it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because at the end of this podcast, I'll be remembered for my pronunciation.
Fair enough. That's what's going to send you to the top, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what about our neighbours across the ditch? How do we think the Kiwis are going to go? Obviously, had that strong performance against India in that warm-up game. Trent bowled well up front. Williamson and Taylor scored runs.
Well, as far as English conditions are concerned, they're probably the
closest.
The closest to it. They'll probably be used to and enjoy these conditions just about more than anyone other than England themselves. They are my team to cause a few surprises, and the big one for me, I can't wait to Australia plays New Zealand. I think that will be like one of the games of the tournament.
Just playing devil's advocate, can we really call it a surprise considering they were finalists last time out?
That's 4 years ago. Like a lot happens in 4 years.
Yeah, we're defending champions. We're not going in as favourites.
Yep.
Well, that's true, and we went out of the group stage.
4 years in international cricket in this day and age is like, especially when you're my age.
It's a long time.
Where was the last
World
Cup? It was in Australia. It was in Australia, yes.
It was here, mate.
Yeah, it was here. Yeah. Obviously, the keys for them are obviously Williamson is going to be a big key for them. I think Bolt will be a big key for them bowling up front. If he can get the ball to swing around, that'll be a big key.
Got a few wickets the other day against India.
And then, Guptill. If Guptill can, he's obviously... I don't know if you call him he's their best one-day cricketer.
He's a bit like Roy. He's a bit like Roy, caused some damage up the top. Ross Taylor.
Ross Taylor's, if he can... He's sort of
been pretty consistent of late.
Yeah.
And in pretty good nick.
Fair enough.
All right.
Rightio. Should we get to some questions from our listeners?
We got some.
We do.
We've got quite a few, actually. And nice. I think, Charlie, if you're on, you saw I just sent you some follow-ups. We got some questions a little bit later on. I messaged them to you there, so they should be on the screen. There are a few additional ones.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay. I will.
Few.
Right. So this one's got a bit of a Pakistan flavour. So we'll just see how well we know our Pakistani cricketers. How do we think Babar Azim will perform in the World Cup?
Is that how you say his name?
Babar
Azam.
Babar Azam.
Well, my first point is I really love his name, Babar. He should almost be playing a bit of basketball as well.
Diction is key.
Yes. Babar Azam.
How's he going to perform in the World Cup? Well, can I be brutally honest?
Tell me about
I had to look him up.
Yeah. His white ball stats are impressive.
Good,
he's one of these guys I think in years to come will be a very good test cricketer. I think he's averaging about 30 in test cricket at the moment, but he averages 50 in both forms of white ball cricket.
Yep.
And he got a ton in the last game.
Yep.
So I think he's going to be one of the keys for the Pakistani batting lineup.
Well, I feel
and he's only 24, so he's only going to get better as time goes. But as far as this tournament's concerned...
I've done him a disservice there because he's played 21 test matches and 64 ODIs. A couple of big hundreds, averaging 35 in Test cricket and 51 in one day, as like you just said.
Yeah, he's in some decent form, so he'll be okay. Interesting squad that Pakistan has picked because they've gone back to some, we'll call them experienced bowlers.
Yep.
In Muhammad Amir and what's that, the left armer's name?
Wahab Riaz?
Yes. Who haven't been playing that well.
Yep.
So it's interesting that they've gone back to those. We know what Amir can produce.
Yeah, he's got that X factor, isn't
and we know what Riaz can produce as well. But again, obviously he bowled that wonderful over to Shane Watson 4 years ago. But Mickey Arthur's been on the record saying, look, he hasn't won us a game in the last 2 years, and that was not that long ago. So, and now he's back in the side. So that's interesting. Just some interesting Pakistani politics in their cricket. So.
No surprises. So nothing that happens could be a surprise. But
As long as Amir doesn't overstep the line, I think all will be fine.
Should be fine. Now, obviously, this is what all Australian cricket fans and probably world cricket fans are interested in this tournament. How will Smith and Warner handle the pressure from the English fans and probably all fans?
Well, given in the warm-up, they did their best to boo him. It's their first time seeing them since the whole debacle went down a year ago, and Smith goes out and bangs 100 and Warner gets 40-odd.
Yep.
So I think that they have basically spent the last 12 months knowing that that's the sort of reception they're going to get and mentally preparing for it. I don't think that the boo boys are going to work. I think they're just going to go ahead, do their business, and away you go. I mean, I do, just from the emails that I get as being a former member of the Barmy Army, know that they've got 7 or 8 songs for each of them lined up.
Yeah, I think
but quite how personal it gets, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, let's put it down to this. They can have as many songs as they want. Those batsmen will be more focused on something else, and that's called a ball.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trained to do, and that's what they would have really have prepared themselves to do. That would be essentially just white noise to them.
My question would be more like not so much handle the pressure on the field. How they're going to handle that off the field?
Yeah, the off the field stuff. Where on the field and the crowd singing songs, I think they'll be fine. And at the end of the day, what the Barmy Army and all these crowds anywhere around the world are looking for when they do this kind of thing is a reaction.
Yeah.
I think on the field they won't acknowledge it. They won't do anything to fuel it, and pretty soon the crowd will get bored of singing it.
Yeah.
But they will appreciate good cricket. I don't think they'll appreciate Warner as much as they'll appreciate Smith.
Exactly.
Just on past indiscretions.
Yeah.
But yeah, off the field and in the pubs and bars of Birmingham and other places, how are they going to handle that?
Yeah. Well, I don't think they'll be going to many pubs and bars. I think you'll find that they'll be doing everything within their, what's the word?
Power.
Yeah, to an old timers
control.
Yeah, to avoid the potential for that sort of stuff to go on.
They are there for a long time though. They're going to be there for like 5 months, so it's not like you can just sit in a hotel for 5 months.
Yeah,
you're going to have to get out at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, so like David's going to have his whole family over there.
Yeah,
his third child's going to be born in England.
Yes, I just feel like they'll be prepared for that. Whether there's security people around them, they'll have a system set up where you would think that nothing too serious.
Yeah, the one thing is that there are 1 or 2 hooligans in the UK who are very, very vocal, and they will do whatever they can to try and get their point made, and they'll make idiots of themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just how Smith and Warner will handle it, and quite frankly, from what I've seen so far, they're handling everything with aplomb.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine.
I think they'll be fine.
Interesting question regarding...
Which is a shame, by the way.
Regarding Australia's lineup, Khawaja or Marsh?
That's an easy one.
Who's... Really?
Yeah.
Who are you picking?
Can I read that out?
Khawaja.
Oh, I don't mind, yeah.
Okay, so just because we got the sheet of questions here in front of us, I love this. The question is simply from at Lachlan.gt6. The question is Khawaja or Marsh, and then in brackets on our sheet from producer Nick it says I have no idea what this means.
Luckily,
I mean, it was like the question was very just Khawaja or Marsh, man. I don't know what the context of that. Which one do you prefer? Like order in the lineup, or I don't know. Know what that means.
Usman Khawaja or Sean Marsh, 2 left-handed Australian batsmen. Who's better?
Did one of them get picked and the other didn't?
No, they both
got picked
in the squad, and they've both been playing in the warm-up games. They played both warm-up games. Khawaja scored runs.
I think the feeling is that it's probably not going to be both of them in the lineup. Is that your feeling?
You would think so.
Especially with there's Smith and Warner back in the lineup.
You got Smith. You got to try and get.
Someone has to make way.
Yeah, we don't want to be. Yeah.
Well, this may be controversial, but I think probably Marsh or Khawaja. I don't know.
And how would that be controversial?
Yeah, one or the other. Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, look, I reckon
it's going to be one of them.
I reckon either or of them will play in the. Yeah, we'll play in them. Yeah.
Do you think someone should commit to an answer?
I
would.
No. I think
I'm going with Khawaja. Scored 89.
At the moment.
Overnight, I think he's been more consistent. His form lately.
Recent form, I go with Khawaja.
Has been pretty good. Just Marsh has been, inconsistent at the top level.
But he does have a lovely pull shot.
He does.
Well,
so does Khawaja plays a pull shot.
He's a
well,
quality cricketer. Yeah. They're both quality cricketers. Who's going to get the job done for this moment in England? For me, it's Khawaja.
At the moment, yeah.
We've talked about the pull shot thing before, haven't we?
Yes.
That rings a bell. I think I did a clip of you guys.
Yeah, it's in another.
I think you said, like, as a bloke who only has a pull shot, I admire so much his pull shot.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is a question or a statement from at Skolzy7.
Well, just hang on a minute. I want a definitive answer from
Khawaja.
you. Khawaja?
Yeah.
All right.
I said Khawaja.
And you were like, you got splinters in your chaminda.
He's in the middle, so
I mean,
he's got on the fence.
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to put my Kingsgrove hat on or my England hat? Kingsgrove hat, Khawaja.
Could be a man of many hats.
So good. He's in. We beat the 10.
And if this podcast has proved anything, I'm a man of many hats.
We've given Khawaja the nod.
The nod, so he will make no runs.
So who's ringing Marshy to let him know?
His dad?
Nah. Anyway, so at Skolzy7, it's predicted that Rashid Khan will be the top wicket taker in the tournament.
Yeah.
Do we agree?
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
I think he will take a lot of wickets. I don't think he will be the leading wicket taker.
His problem is going to be, he's got wonderful X factor, we know that, but his batters are potentially going to be the problem.
Yep.
In that if they don't get big scores, then he's not protecting because he's not getting the opportunity to bowl a lot of overs. The game overnight, a pure example of that, where Afghanistan were only able to get 1 or 2 wickets.
Yes.
In England,
so
trying to get 160 runs.
Yeah.
So that is going to be his issue in getting wickets, is that he may not get as much bowling as other bowlers will get.
It's a bold prediction, Scalzi, and
good luck.
Well done to you for making it, and thanks for writing in. I don't agree, if I'm honest, though.
No, he'll take wickets, and I think he'll have a good tournament.
He'll take some big wickets,
but I don't think he'll be I'm not sure he's going to be the leading wicket taker.
Definitely not.
Continuing on the talk of spinners,
yes.
Should Australia play both of theirs? Should we play 2 spinners?
Oscar_Greentree asks this.
Well, Greenie, I think so. I think so. They used 4 last night.
Yeah, Smithy had a
Smithy had a crack and got 1 for 9 off 2 overs.
Yeah.
Was it turning?
Maxwell was always there to provide a bit of spin. Maxwell got a very important early wicket. And then you've got, obviously, Lyon and Zampa. I think you'll find that spin's a big part of white ball cricket in this day and age.
So then I think the question is. So this question is: should we use 2 spinners? Do we play Zampa and Lyon together? Because Maxwell's probably going to play. So you've got Maxwell could be the second spinner.
Yep.
With either Zampa or Lyon. But do we play Zampa and Lyon?
For what it's worth, I'd say it will depend where you're playing, what ground you're playing at.
Yeah, there could be a bit of horses for courses type of situation. For me, to have 2 spinners, 3 pace bowlers, and Stoinis, there's now is that 6 options? That's 6 options, and then Maxwell, if the wicket is,
can you play Maxwell and Stoinis in the same team?
Why not?
Well, if you look at we'll go through a lineup then. So then you've got Finch, and Warner, Khawaja, Smith. So then you're saying Maxwell, Stoinis, Carey. So that's 7 blokes, and then then 3 pace bowlers.
Yep.
And
I see a point here.
Are we basically I'm looking at is Stoinis' batting good enough to hold a place in the team? Are we looking at is that batting lineup too shallow?
Well, no, I think his batting's pretty strong, and the fact that he brings something with the ball as well is key. Obviously, Maxwell is just Maxwell. He's brilliant. Yeah. I don't feel his bowling.
Is he bringing? So is he bringing enough?
Yeah. All right. Well, sorry.
No, he's played a lot. He's played a lot of one day.
Sorry, Khawaja, you're gone.
No, you can't get rid of him. You can't get rid of Usman. He's got to stay. We're looking at putting in more batsmen.
Well, a minute ago, you didn't know whether it be Usman or.
I said Usman.
Marshy.
I'm not saying we get rid of him. I'm talking about adding more batsmen. I'm talking about Stoinis. It's.
Oscar, you've opened a can of worms here, mate.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
I think
we
that's
need these cans of worms open.
That's what they're talking about when can we play the 2 spinners? Can we play both of them in the same team?
Yeah.
That's where,
Well, it's
does that
led
make
into
does
the question.
That, does that make
more importantly, it's led into the question, can we play 2 all-rounders in Maxwell and... They're both... Well, Maxwell's a match winner, isn't he?
Yes.
You'd think he'd have
and
to.
I mean, Stoinis can be a match winner as well. He can be very destructive with the bat. And he does have a habit of taking handy wickets.
Yep.
So...
And from my point of view, he's mates with Dan Ricciardo, so that makes him a good bloke in my...
Yeah, all right. So I guess in committing to an answer, it depends on how they feel the wicket's going to play on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on the ground. I mean, but that discussion...
Sometimes it also, depends possibly on how pace bowling is going. If our pace bowling is firing, you may not need 2 spinners. If we're battling, we might need the 2 spinners.
Well, those last couple of questions with regard to the Australian team sort of lead nicely into 2 more that we've got here. Anve Golkar asks, best opening batting combo for the Aussies. What should happen to whoever misses out? So, do you think it's nailed on Finch and Warner at the top?
Well, I think it's, Finch, you'd be looking, now Finch, Warner, I go Finch, Warner, Khawaja.
Is your top 3?
Would be my point.
Khawaja opened overnight.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, because I don't think Warner played, did he?
Warner had leg soreness.
Yeah, so he didn't play, so...
And cricket_air05 asks, what are your thoughts on Mark Taylor's not selecting Uzi?
Well, luckily he's not a selector, so I don't really care.
the
Shots fired.
Yeah, exactly. Someone has to give...
Yeah.
Australia in a situation like a lot of the other cricketing nations where there's 12 or 13 very, very decent options.
Yeah.
And it might come down to just how they line up against their opposition, what the opposition's weakness is. So there's other things other than horses for courses and the ground and whether it'll spin. The coaching staff will know, well, here's a team. We need to, if you're playing potentially India and the ball's moving around, then you go with one spinner.
Yeah.
Whereas, some of the other nations that tend to go well against spin. You might...
Or don't go as well against spin. Then you might play the 2, possibly later on in the tournament as the wickets get a bit more tired and they're going to take a bit more turn,
against
a bit
the
slower.
Against the Windies.
No, they play spin well because that's what they've got in the West Indies these days.
Yeah.
The wickets aren't fast. They tend to turn more, so they're probably better against playing against spin than against pace bowling. So you play pace bowlers against them.
I think the feeling I'm getting now is that there's probably going to be a little bit of rotation without going overboard.
Yeah.
And then you probably find out what's working as you're getting to the business end of the tournament.
Yeah. Right, here's something that we can spark some controversy over.
Yep.
Thanks to @DarrenMarks8. Who do we think is the most overrated player going into the World Cup? But also, who do we think may be underrated?
Oh, for the whole World Cup?
Just the talk
I'll let
of
you guys go first,
the people going in there. Who do we think is overrated? Who everyone's talking about? What do we?
It's a tough one, but I think I can cover this one with just one player.
Okay.
Chris Gale.
I was thinking
both the most overrated and underrated player, really.
Mm-hmm. Underrated in that we just haven't really seen him play too much other than
international, rather than just T20.
T20. Yeah. So I guess where's he going to be in the slightly longer form? But we all know what he's capable of doing.
So the last one-day international he played was against England in the Caribbean.
Yep.
And he belted them.
That's what he does.
Yep.
No, but he belted them everywhere.
You're just trying to hammer down the fact that it was England on the receiving end, aren't you?
Yeah. Launching it, but he's 38 or something. But
so if let's just say a Chris Gale classic, a Chris Gale classic could see any of the top-rated teams go down against the Windies.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He could do something, and he comes in with an attitude where he's not going to care if it's Stark.
No.
Or Cummins or whatever. If the ball's
Archer,
there and
Archer or Rabada
and he's
whatever,
in the zone, that ball's gonna.
It's going.
It's going.
He's looking. That's what he's looking for.
But in saying that, he could flop.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he's 38. He hasn't played a lot of the slightly sort of longer form in recent years.
Yep.
So for me.
He's both. He's overrated and underrated.
Henry Gale covers both.
Charlie?
Well, I think it's difficult to go past that now. I hadn't even thought of Chris Gale in those terms, but I think I agree with you 100%. I mean, I was going to be controversial with saying the most overrated. I thought was probably Khawaja. In that, I don't
know if anybody's overrating you because not everybody's sure that he's going to be in the team.
I want to hear more why. Like, what would be reasons behind that?
Well, that's the thing. I'm being highly uneducated when I say that because I haven't really watched a lot of what he's done in the last couple of years. I mean, what I saw of him early in his career, I sound like Bill Laurie. It didn't impress me much. Yeah. But to be fair to him, he's turned himself around.
He's been in pretty good nick lately, hasn't he?
His recent form is good.
What I mean is that there always seems to be a buzz around him, and whenever there's a buzz around him and I actually watch him, he then doesn't get runs. So I'm only speaking from a personal point of view. I'm not saying that Usman Khawaja is a bad player. He's clearly not. Yeah. He wouldn't be representing his country if he was a bad player. But for me, from what I've seen, the little one-day cricket that I actually do watch, there's always a lot of buzz around him, and then whenever I decide to watch, he doesn't do much.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So the player that's probably been talked about most coming into this World Cup, and whether or not he's going to actually be in the squad, so he might be slightly overrated, is Jofra Archer.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was umming and ahhing about him because he's been hyped up, but he's literally only just come in, so he hasn't had a chance to underperform yet.
No, I'm not yet. But what we're saying is, will he? The question is, will he perform? Is he overrated? Will he be able to perform in this tournament?
Well, I hope so. From an English point of view, yeah. That's going to be a question that we might have to revisit after the World Cup.
Coming off the back of a good IPL tournament, ish. I don't know if he's sort of dominant. For all the he's got the X factor. He's this. He's that. Yep.
He can produce some good games, and again, he can bowl. He bowls fast, but he can also be awfully terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I think I'd like to revisit that one after the tournament.
Opened the bowling last night. Took 3 for.
Yeah.
Afghanistan.
Yeah. As for underrated, I want to say Johnny Bairstow. I think that he doesn't get much hype at all.
Yeah.
And that probably suits him down to the ground because he's a fairly quiet bloke.
Yeah.
But he always seems to be peeling off 50s, 100s in one-day cricket. So, from an English point of view, I think Johnny Bairstow is vastly underrated.
Is he underrated?
I think so.
He's not generally the one that when
I don't think
when you're going through a lineup,
I don't think he'd be underrated by his opposition.
No, not for example. This is more about. I think this is more about the fans. So when you're talking, when we just discussed England squad, you mentioned Jason Roy. We mentioned
that guy
Butler.
Yeah, but we didn't mention Bairstow.
We didn't mention Bairstow.
It's because he's underrated.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done, mate. Well done. So, a question from @Dave Solomons. Who will be the player? Who will be the player of the tournament?
Unusual surname, that one.
Yeah. Is he any relation?
Do you know him?
I know him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Who will be the player of the tournament? Who's gonna take the tournament by storm?
I'd love it to be Jofra Archer now.
He whispers into the microphone.
Yeah.
Or Johnny Bairstow.
Oh yeah.
It's too easy just to say someone like Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is,
he's a good chance.
Is India are probably going to be pushing there or thereabouts at the end of the tournament, and if they do so, it'll be probably because of him, not just his batting, but his leadership. There is a reason why he is rated.
Yeah. So you
number
think,
one.
You think he's going to?
And my experience is like they could flop or whatever, but he came to Australia with the same sort of hype.
Yeah.
And he got the job done.
So you're picking him to be the player of the tournament.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I've got a few others. That I'd throw out there.
Charlie, any?
Look, given that England are supposedly pre-tournament favourites, and everyone's saying, well, England are going to win their home World Cup for the first time, player of the tournament, Joe Root.
Okay, that is completely left field. I was gonna go more Butler, but anyway,
why not?
Fair enough. Okay.
My outside cause. I'd love Steve Smith to win it.
Yeah.
To put everything that's been in the past behind him and just to say, right, it's all done, and this is where we're at the moment, and he's in sublime form, as we know. And my other little side one, and another batsman, Kane Williamson.
Yeah.
Class.
Is he underrated?
Class. He would not be underrated
not by all the teams playing in the tournament, but
I think New Zealand
as a whole are underrated.
Yeah.
He is a bug wicket.
Yep.
Yourself, Stewie. You're tending to just do the questions here and sidestep some answers.
Just the host. You're
more than a host.
I'd love for
champion.
I'd love for Steve Smith to just have a massive tournament and lead us to victory.
Yep. You'd love it.
I'd love it. Yeah.
But who's going to do it?
No, I'm going to go with Smithy. I'm going to back him in.
Nice.
Fair enough.
That's
to overcome the crowds and lift the trophy at Lords. Can I read the?
Then I'd love him.
No, we're going to save which. Are you talking about that? You're talking about that?
Yeah,
one?
no, I'll save that one.
We're going to save that one.
Well, the next one, and I'm going to have to translate this one for Hamish. Ben Horrocks _, has asked who is going to get the wooden spoon. Now, what he means by that is who's going to get the kitchen utensil of ineptness.
Oh, now he gets it.
Yeah. Do you have it today?
This is one of my favourite topics.
We ought to just get one to keep here. It'll get referenced a bunch, I'm sure. We should have our own podcast.
My missus had a whinge the other day that she couldn't find it, so I had to return it to its rightful place in the kitchen.
Right.
The spoon.
The spoon, right.
The spoon.
Just clarify that. The spoon. He's talking about the spoon.
Look, I find the bottom end of the table as interesting as the top end sometimes, as we know from previous NRL discussions that we've had. Look, sadly, as much as it tears a little piece of meat
I think I know where you're going with this too.
I have a feeling that Sri Lanka are going to be there or thereabouts when it comes to the kitchen utensil of ineptness.
Sadly, I may have to agree with you.
Such a good
They
word.
just really haven't been able to recover from the losses of names like Jai Wardner and Sangakkara. And I know you have to move on, but I still think Sri Lanka would be better off if they would have dragged those two blokes back into the team, and they would be a better team for it.
Well, they had massive upheaval after the tour to Australia, and they dropped every.
Look, and I think everyone hopes that they do well. There's been troubles in the country of recent times, and something like this would be wonderful. I just don't think that they've got the consistency within their batting lineup and just generally without their whole team lineup to really do anything too special in this tournament.
Sadly, I also think the West Indies are a good chance to come last. They'll either do brilliantly or they'll be holding up the bottom.
They'll probably be a bit like Pakistan, where they're capable of knocking off anyone on their day.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, those days won't be consistent enough. So they're the four teams, along with Afghanistan, who are probably going to be vying for the kitchen utensil of ineptness. Yes.
Should have one for each sport, shouldn't we?
Yes.
What about you guys?
So
you gone Sri Lanka, along with myself.
Yes.
I've got to be different, haven't I?
No.
You have to be.
No.
Well,
have to
I'm going to be. I don't know why. I just think Sri Lanka will turn up the wick a little bit, and I hope they do. I'm going to say Bangladesh. Now, even they're quite strong. I just have this feeling that for some reason everyone's going to still go full blaze against Bangladesh because they're taking them seriously these days. But Afghanistan, that they won't take seriously, will get a couple of wins, and that will take them above Bangladesh in the table. So there you go.
Rightio. Now, a very important question, this last question.
Oh, isn't it?
Oh, unless we wanted to...
Oh, hey, yeah.
How many hundreds do you think Smithy will score in the tournament?
From KDOS, 68.
2.
3.
2 centuries.
I'm going to go 3.
I'm going to go with 2.
Okay. No problem.
That's it.
That's a nice, easy question.
Yeah, no. We'll go the first one.
That's a nice, quick one.
Uniforms are always a talking point in these tournaments.
And
talk about
at
that.
Zachary AGS07 is asking the really important questions about this World Cup, isn't he, Stu?
Who's going to look the best on field?
Who do you think?
I know who won't. I know who's winning the wooden spoon of
fashion.
Ordinariness.
Who's that?
England.
I've heard some controversy about England's kit. I'm going to look it up right now again.
I wish they'd just pick a colour and stick with it. We've been red, we've been blue, we've been sky blue. And now,
Didn't they have a white kit?
Unless the Windies are prepared to go back to that little pinky outfit that they had during World Series cricket.
That's what I should have done. I've got the England 1992 World Cup kit from over here.
That's what they're wearing,
which is
basically.
What they're supposedly modelling it on, but that didn't look too bad. But
I think
this
one,
different. It's certainly different.
What do you think, Nick?
I think you've got, from a design perspective, right? I think you have to be careful when you do a throwback. 90s fashion and 90s trends and stuff, they're questionable. Like you can go back and there's some really timeless stuff come out of the 60s, 70s, 80s. You could do like an effective throwback.
Well, we've gone to.
But you got to be careful of the 90s, man.
We've gone to the 80s.
The 90s,
we've gone back to the 80s.
Right. The 90s was a tenuous time for design. You can. It's real hit or miss in the 90s, and I'm not so sure about the 92 kit myself.
Yeah, I think that with this current kit that they've got, they've taken the phrase pajama cricket a lot more seriously than they should have done.
Now they do look soft. The uniforms do look soft.
They look soft.
Yeah.
They look like fluffy.
They look comfortable.
Like, you potentially go to sleep in it.
You could.
So are you saying that when you lose the tournament, that's what you're blaming it on?
Well,
you're
no, I think sure, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we do. We blame it on the kit and the clothing, not the idiots that are wearing it. But I mean, maybe it's a disarming tactic. Maybe it's them saying, "Look how stupid we look." They're going to come out laughing at us, and therefore we can beat them off the field.
Where does sky blue fit into the whole English thing?
Who knows?
Well, I think they came from. I think they
because
came from
the sky is generally not blue.
They came from Australia.
Skies are more grey.
Yeah. I think they came from Australia when the guys used to come out and play the
We
tournament.
haven't really spoken about the weather in England and how that's going to play a factor too.
Apparently it's quite warm over there.
A couple of washouts already.
Well, I mean, you're going to get it rains everywhere, mate. So, except maybe for Australia at the
and
moment.
they tweeted England,
as you say, whilst we're in drought.
Yeah.
England cricket tweeted pictures says how fire is our Cricket World Cup 19 kit, and the top response is like a picture of the Smurfs.
I love it.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, we do look like those people that adult babies or whatever they want to call them. They're wearing baby outfits.
I wouldn't call it pajamas, but I mean it's a different.
Do we like the Aussie kit?
No,
I like it a bit more that I've seen it on field.
Yeah. You don't like it because you're already tired of it after Steve Smith's innings against you guys the other day.
I didn't watch it. I was too busy watching Lewis
It looks
Hamilton
better.
win Monaco.
It looks better on. It looks better on field than I thought it would.
You did. You mentioned
it's a bit
retro.
It's a bit retro-ish, isn't it?
It is retro. Yeah, it's retro. We've gone back to the early 80s. So, but now we get to the most important question.
Ooh.
From Yellowtail for me. Aren't you guys happy that my son Nick is the producer of your awesome podcast?
Well, Mrs. Yanetzis.
Aren't you though?
Well, to be fair, there wouldn't be a podcast if it wasn't for your son. So.
I reckon we are.
I think to have an American, running a cricket podcast
or sports, sports. Mainly cricket focused,
especially
podcast.
today.
Yeah.
Having said, since our last recording, the United States women's team have qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah, you'd have to ask at Dave Solomons about that. He follows all that stuff. But
he does, and but he
meant to give me a hat. He meant to give me a women's cricket World Cup hat or a cricket hat team thing, whatever, to wear on the podcast. I think he got to give it to me.
He should have. But
by giving you a women's hat. Is he suggesting anything?
No, it's a hat for the women's team to support the women's team.
Oh, okay.
But Mrs. Yanetzis, we do have one thing that we need to nitpick about your wonderful son here. He's put in brackets, real question submitted by Nick's mom. Now, here in Australia, in proper Queen's English, it's M-U-M. It's mum. If you'd have said mother, you'd have got away with it.
Yeah, I would have, wouldn't I?
But
hey, shout out to my parents, man, in America. They're watching all these podcasts. Show some love.
Hello, Team
Yanetzis. To Jack and Lynn.
Yeah.
Jack and Lynn.
I'll see you in a few weeks, Jack and Lynn.
Yeah, right. Hamish is coming to America.
I'll just do a blow-in.
If you have a baby girl, you got to call her Jacqueline now.
I don't think I'm having kids, man.
Well, that's news to Mr. and Mrs. Yanetzis.
No, they know. No,
okay. He's happy just to keep practicing.
Yeah. All right. Let's get down.
Back on track.
Let's get down to the.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry for that one,
to the
Mom.
nitty-gritty. All right.
Spell M-O-M.
Yeah. Let's try and get this thing back on track.
Yes. Come on, Stewie.
All right. Who semi-finalists?
Yep.
Who's making the semi-finals?
So what we're saying here by asking that question is, one of the big guns has to miss out.
Can only be 4. That's correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
So one of the big guns has to miss out. Shall I?
You can start.
I'll take the new seed here.
Yeah.
All right. Semi-finalists: India, Australia, New Zealand, and not South Africa. England. There you go. South Africa.
That's their name, isn't it?
South Africa.
England's team name is actually not South Africa.
South Africa.
Some would argue otherwise.
South Africa are going to be the team to miss out. Now, I don't know the makeup of the semi-finals,
Guessing
but I'm
in
going to
the
go all the
tournament.
way here.
Hang on. Wait.
Cool my jets.
Don't go too early. Don't go too early.
Okay.
Charlie.
Yep.
England, Australia. I'd previously said that India would miss out. I'm going to stick with that. I did say that Pakistan would make it through and would possibly go all the way. However, having watched their attempts at winning your kitchen utensil in the one-day series recently, I think I'm going to change that. I will put South Africa in there.
Yep.
Now, I can't remember the team that I put in there previously, so I'm going to say New Zealand. I might have said West Indies before, but I think New Zealand, Australia, England, and South Africa.
Yeah. So, Stewie, you're part Kiwi.
I think that.
You're a little.
Are you?
You're tiny little bit Kiwi. So no doubt you'll
have.
have them up there.
Well, yes, only because not for that fact, just because I think they're a good good team.
So the Kiwi.
So it's Australia,
Yep.
England, New Zealand, South Africa.
So you're going the same? Wow, we agree on something.
Yeah, which is scary.
A little bit.
Maybe should have just changed.
So, so India to miss out.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's big, boys.
That's huge. Huge.
Huge. Breaking.
I reckon we have quite a few India fans
I don't think
that
it's
watch the
breaking.
podcast.
I apologize for that.
Look, if you find these,
I picked them.
They'll probably
look.
they'll prove me wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah,
it's a lottery.
They'll let us know when we are.
Yeah.
But we're not trying to upset anyone with that. It's
I didn't upset
an
anyone,
opinion.
except for our friends in South Africa.
Well, the thing is, if you do disagree, right, that's a beautiful thing about being able to have this podcast. So please, if you have opinions about what these guys have said, if you agree or disagree.
Let
Yes,
us
but
know.
also, hang on, don't think you're getting off scot-free. We want your predictions as well. Your semi-finals.
Oh, really? My
Yeah.
semi-finalists? I got to look up the teams.
Who's
No,
playing
probably with okay. I'll try and give it a real guess based on my opinion of like seeing cricket happen. My experience here at Kingsgrove and what I understand about cricket, that I would probably put in England, Australia, India, Pakistan.
Right.
I think.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that those are that would be my guess.
Two derbies.
All possible. Oh, imagine. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine an India Pakistan semi-final or final?
With England and Australia in
Oh,
the
boy.
other one. Wow.
That'd be ginormous. Ginormous. Now, do you think Australia are a realistic chance of winning the World Cup?
Well, this sort of segues into the competition, doesn't it?
Yes.
That we're going to do here. Now, Stu mentioned earlier we'll give out the socials. Obviously, for those of you that listen regularly, you'll know Facebook at Kingsgrove Sports Centre, Twitter at Kingsgrove Sport, still can't handle plural, and Instagram at Kingsgrove Sports. And we've been inviting your feedback all along the way. Now, we got a competition in line with this World Cup.
Very exciting.
With our brand new show sponsors, Kookaburra, who have provided to the winners of this competition a Kookaburra Ghost...
Sorry, it's a winner.
Winner, yes.
Sorry,
Single-
winner.
Single winner.
Sorry,
Yep, that's
did
all
I?
right.
Winner.
I'm adding plural that
Yeah.
Twitter can't handle. So, Kookaburra are kindly providing a Ghost Pro 2000 cricket kit. Now, that consists of a Ghost Pro 2000 cricket bat, Ghost Pro 2000 batting gloves, and Ghost Pro 2000 batting pads. Now, what you have to do to enter this competition is to visit kingsgrovesports.com.au/giveaway, enter your name and email address, and tell us who you think is going to win the World Cup. That's it. That's all you have to do. Tell us who you think is going to win the World Cup. After the World Cup has ended, we'll select one winner, not plural, one winner, from those who guessed correctly. They will then be drawn at random and be contacted via the email address that they use to enter. There is one entry per person. For complete terms and conditions, there is a link to find out more on the contest entry page. I'm sure producer Nick will put that in the
the link,
description of the
the
video.
link will be in the description of the video.
What about the prize here?
I know.
But the
Very
prize is
exciting.
how
Excellent.
good. Now,
Superb
Kookaburra,
prize.
what a job they've done for us here. Now, Stu gave them a good rap at the start of the show as well. Kookaburra have been around since God was a kid.
That's yeah.
They've been around.
They made
since-
a cricket ball for him and he used it.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
been around cricket gear wise since Dean Jones was.
Dean Jones, in
going
terms of
around.
bats
I
and
think
pads
he
and
was
gloves,
there like
they've been
their
making-
first marquee signing.
They've been making
Dean Jones.
cricket balls since
When he went from
way back-
county to
way-
Kookaburra.
Way back when.
Kookaburra are so old, when they were children, rainbows were black and white. They
Wasn't there a ban on this sort of humour?
Yeah, I thought we banned it.
What did you say?
It's a really soft ban.
What did you say?
Oh, my prerequisite for a joke is that it needs to be funny.
Right, okay.
It needs to be funny.
Well, you laughed at that one, so it's your own fault.
Rightio.
So anyway, in line with that competition, so go ahead and give us your predictions. We welcome your feedback all the time. Obviously, if you're contacting us through the regular channels, use that hashtag KSC podcast. As you know, we're available on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio.
YouTunes is what you said. YouTunes, iTunes.
YouTube.
iTunes, YouTunes, we all tunes.
Even YouTube.
I keep mispronunciating my worms. Anyway.
Now, you got that one. Got a
that
good
was
laugh,
good.
man.
That was good. Well done.
So in line with this competition and predicting winners, you predict who you think's going to win. We've been asked teams to reach the semis by Sarang_man.14. Now, Ethan Rosetto asks, what are the chances of Australia winning the World Cup? And Rishi1710 asks, who do you think has a good chance of winning the World Cup? So, what are our final predictions?
All right, Sarang Man, one of our students here at Kingsgrove Cricket Academy.
Oh, you recognise us? Okay, right on.
Good young fella.
Nice.
I'm going to say India-Australia final.
Mm-hmm. England to disappoint in the semis again.
Yep, regulation. And then, look, Hart wants to go Australia, obviously. Hart would love to see Australia and Steve Smith and David Warner and the boys, win some redemption, win back some redemption. But I just have a feeling India didn't get a run with you two guys. I think India are going to go all the way.
Rightio. Charlie?
Look, previously I predicted Pakistan, and now I've predicted they're not even going to make the semis. So I'm going to show some national pride and say England.
Fair enough. Good for you.
Thanks.
I'm going to go Australia. 6 months ago, you would have been. It'll
be a win for the ages.
That would have been ridiculous. But now that we started to play better one-day cricket, and we've got Smith and Warner back, and if they can stay in form, we've also got good coaching staff. Yep. We've got Justin Langer and we've got Ricky Ponting on board for the World Cup.
Yep. We have one in England before.
We had one in England before.
20 years ago, mate.
Still, we've won there.
Yeah, actually, we've actually won
a World Cup.
Left myself open to
numerous times. Numerous times.
4 times possibly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Australia. I'm going to stick with our boys, and we'll get the job done.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I hope so. I hope so, Shuey.
Producer Nick, you still don't escape.
Well, America's not in it, so I guess Australia.
Good call. What enthusiasm.
Who do you reckon will win the 1983 America's Cup?
I don't know what that is.
It's a boat race, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do
your research on that one. You will love it.
They don't teach that in schools.
They probably don't.
Alan Bond.
Yeah. All right. So let us know your thoughts into that competition.
Absolutely. Through the channels we mentioned before.
Get onto the website and go to the giveaway page and get on and pick your winner. You could be in a chance to win a tremendous cricket kit from Kookaburra.
Yeah, massive thanks to Kookaburra for
cricket
that.
today. Just
all cricket.
Yeah, all cricket today,
and we're rugged up because it's seriously cold in Sydney at the moment.
Yeah.
So we're talking cricket. How good is that?
Cricket, so there'll be lots more cricket talk coming up. Also, World Cup just about to kick off. So
and next episode, one of us will be crying for non-cricket related issues.
Yeah.
So
What?
Tottenham versus
that's
Liverpool.
right. That's right. You mentioned to me too that you're going to get that in on the podcast.
And you have.
Even if it's one line.
I feel like we're about to hear some piano.
Yeah, you're about to hear some piano. It's about time to wrap it up.
It's nice piano too. Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm in Cheers.
Where everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
Having
a
nice ale.
Talking amongst friends.
Is that in Chicago?
Cheers? I don't know where Cheers is set. That's a good question.
Let us know.
Yeah, if you know where the TV show Cheers is set, let us know in the comment. We'll have to do an evening podcast sometime over a pint or two.
A pubcast.
A pubcast.
Watching some cricket?
Yeah.
Watching some cricket.
That might be a neat idea.
Or the Champions League final.
Yeah,
no,
too early in the morning.
That might not be able to go to air. All right. Thanks, boys.
See you later.
Thanks, Stu. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you, Hamish.
Bye-bye.